Ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry for being late. I don't know if I broke my computer being so violent with it during the game or the fact that it's storming over here in San Antonio, which is ironic to play the Thunder, is affecting my computer, but I am now available. So that's great. I am not happy watching this game. Um, but yeah, I edited this wrong. I'm just furious right now. I'm very at lost for words right now. We got some comments. Let's see. Yo, of course, Spurs fan, first the Thunder fan would show up after the win, but we welcome you anyways. Yo, to you, a good game. I'm taking the dub tonight. As you can see, the bench scoring was the bench score was a major reason why the Thunder are up 2-1 now. They defeated the Spurs 123-108. This is Spurs versus everybody post game show. Yeah, man, this is the Spurs versus everybody post game Western Conference Finals edition. The Thunder up 2-1. I'm still trying to collect myself after that win. Yeah, the bench scoring was just too much. I was just see McCain finish with 24 points. Their bench severely outplayed our Spurs bench, whose top scorer was Keldon Johnson with 5 points. Obviously, we can start with Harper and Fox were available to play tonight, which was good news for the game. So we saw that they were going to play tonight. Fox early on definitely looked like he had no. He still showed his speed, showed his ability to get to the hole. Not really ill effects for Fox early on. He did get rolled upon by Lou Dort and did get injured. He came back, but yeah, that was a scary sight when he got hurt again. That was concerned, man. It's over here thundering. Great, go figure. It's over here thundering, pouring over here, and after this game, yeah. But Keldon Johnson being the leading scorer with 5 points, 1 of 5, 1 of 4 from the 3-point line. He wasn't highly effective. He didn't have a great game himself, but that was our leading scorer off the bench versus the Thunder, who had McCain with 24, Caruso with 15. Jalen Williams, Duke Dennis, as we like to call him, their floor racing big man / power forward at times, depending on what lineup they're in. With he was like 4 or 5 from the first half for shooting threes. He finished with 5 of 6 from the 3-point line. He had 18 total points. I mean, that was a big uplift for them early on. His ability to hit threes. I mean, he was catching shooting like he was Klay Thompson at times, just catching the ball and just shooting it right away. It was just that's when you know it was like, all right, this is gonna be a long night if Jalen Williams is hitting threes. So that was unfortunate, but yeah, 18 points there, 15 for Caruso, 11 for Wallace, 24 from McCain. I mean, that's just ridiculous bench scoring right there for the Thunder. They were hitting shots, man, and obviously the defense at times definitely leaves players open, which isn't great. But yeah, so that was the main difference right there. I think the bench scoring. The Spurs started off 15-0. It's 15-0, the second highest run for NBA history. So after the 15-0 run, I was like, all right, the Spurs are going to go ahead and blow out the Thunder or possibly just at least win tonight. Of course, as soon as Wemby goes to the bench early on, you can see the on enough numbers throughout the series during the playoffs. Let me put my glasses on, man. The lights are really bothering me. I've been watching the screen all day, all night. But yeah, Wemby goes to the bench. I think overall it's a +1, but it's definitely super negative. It was negative this game. So when Wemby goes to the bench, Spurs start to give up that lead. The Thunder start hitting shots. Obviously, Jalen Williams getting hot from 3 early on was an issue. Caruso continues scoring, hitting shots, which is great. He's been a big uplifter the whole series. McCain was really the guy who was shooting the hell out of the ball. I mean, he was 2 of 10 from the 3, but shooting 21 times. He was getting up shots left and right. But yeah, Wemby goes to the bench. Bad things happen. Bad things happen, and it's going to be interesting to see how they manage that. We got some Wimby at the 4 minutes, which I think double big was definitely interesting. At times to see that lineup, it's kind of might be necessary because Wimby has to be on the court defensively. Maybe two rebounders help. Wimby soaks up some 4 minutes between some unplayable players, Harrison Barnes, Carter Bryant, maybe even Keldon a little bit struggling. It's like where do you really go to? So maybe Wimby at the 4 is a situation where you have to soak up minutes there, where he has to play more minutes because he's a difference maker on the court, obviously. So, just tough, man, just tough. It got really, I want to say, it got really physical in the third quarter. Two aggressive fouls by the Thunder on Castle as he was leading for a dunk. Shout out to Devin Vassell. I get on Vassell for being soft at times, and the team in period, like they don't step up for their players at times. The other team kind of punk them at times. They don't really step up. So Devin Vassell on the second Castle foul stepped up, got it to what was my man's name? It was the left-hander. What's his name? I always forget his name at times. AJ Mitchell. AJ Mitchell fouls Castle hard after Caruso did it. And Devin Vassell stepped up, got in his face, pushed him, let him know, hey, you're not gonna, just push our foul our teammate hard and get away with it. So shout out to Devin Vassell for stepping up. I appreciate that from him. I like to see players step up for other players, especially in those situations. But yeah, they were highly physical. Castle had, it's got to be sick of the Thunder at this point. I mean, he's got to be sick where he's the point where he's going to swing on one of these guys. And maybe that's not a great situation because you don't want to get thrown out or have something go on like that. But yeah, Castle got fouled hard twice. The second time was a flagrant. I thought maybe the first one was maybe worse than AJ Mitchell's, even though AJ Mitchell, I think the push itself was what really kind of got the flagrant. But I think Caruso Polishi got a flagrant 2 also. Not a flagrant 2, but a flagrant 2 also in that first one. But yeah, it was getting physical, getting chippy. I think that's when the game kind of slowed down. The refs in the third quarter. I mean, everything was getting called. Everything was really chippy in the third quarter. Really, like, ticky-tack fouls were being called. I mean, I think there was, like, by a third quarter, there was 50 free throws shooting between both teams. I mean, that's a lot of free throws to be shooting at that point. Yeah, just a lot of ticky-tack fouls calls. I just thought it just delayed the game, made it really, like, mucked it up, really nasty to watch at times. But yeah, man, just tough to see. Tough to see right now. The Spurs go down 2-1. Technically, they can just win next game, and it could still be tied series. And then it comes down best of 3 with the Thunder, game 7 being in Oklahoma City. Not the greatest situation, but it's still a tied series. Nonetheless, 2-2 if they win tomorrow. I mean, win next game. I don't want to say tomorrow. But if they win next game, it's 2-2 series. So still a long way to go at this point. But yeah, the Spurs definitely shot themselves in the foot a little bit, not winning tonight, and putting the pressure on the Thunder. Now the Thunder stolen back their game that they lost in Oklahoma City, and now the pressure is now on the Spurs to go ahead and tie up the series because you don't want to be down 3-1 and have to win. You can't. It's possible, but it's very unlikely, and it's the Thunder. So you don't want to put yourself in that situation. But Marshall, unfortunately, is at work, but he did send me a text about his thoughts. So we'll talk about what Marshall thoughts were. OKC bench was difference maker for them. Yep. We talked about that, how much they scored. It's a crazy. I couldn't do the calculations off the top of my head. A little tired, my eyes hurt, but yeah, the OKC bench definitely dominated the Spurs bench pretty badly, and that was a big difference maker in the game. When it was more like Hardenstein's rebounding probably last game that really affected the game for them. It was the bench scoring tonight that really got going. Caruso's, went off last game too. So, yeah, the bench scoring is definitely, and that's kind of weird because the Spurs typically were the deeper team this year. They had great bench production between Harper, who's coming off an injury, coming back. He was a non-factor. Keldon Johnson. Oh, did Harper finish with 6 points? I said Keldon had the highest score off the bench, but I think Harper had 6 points. So 17 minutes, didn't make a difference like he has in the past. Keldon Johnson still haven't gotten a string of games together like we saw during the season for him. Um, which is unfortunate. He really was a big factor on the reason why the Spurs was so dominant and his ability to take over games offensively and energy wise. We just have not seen that consistently throughout the playoffs, which is one of the weirder outcomes for what has happened during the regular season versus the playoffs. His inability to really affect the game in a big way. Obviously, Harrison Barnes unplayable at times. Luke Cornett definitely only gave us 2 points, 2 rebounds. I mean, 4 points, 2 rebounds. Just not a far cry from what we've seen from him in the playoffs. So, I mean, in the regular season. So, just non-production right there from the bench right there that really hurt us. And Thunder's bench just went crazy. So, it is. Wimby has to be more aggressive, get to the hoop like in game one. Yeah, I thought in game one they really were able to establish Wimby close to the basket. They were able to get him the ball in good situations near in the paint and where he's very highly effective. I think he has to be more aggressive. Like Marshall said, they have to be able to get a thought to get him the ball in closer spaces like that down the paint or get him on the move getting downhill. I think they're going to have to kind of really rethink this whole process of what we're trying to do versus the Thunder offensively versus we'll just see who has the hot hand and try to get going. Obviously, the key to success for the Spurs is playing defense, getting out in transition. You can't turn the ball over versus Thunder. You have to play good fundamental basketball, things like that. So, but they really have to think the thought process on how they want to attack the Thunder at times. And that's something they're going to have to go through to the game plan and stuff like that. See, got to figure out how to get the offensive flowing again because it looked very stagnant. Yeah, it's definitely times we talked about this. The bearing gets stagnant if we're not dominating in the paint and kicking out for 3-pointers and playing in transition and playing fast. We got to play fast. It starts with the defense, though. Of course, you got to get stops. So there's a whole process on which the Spurs play at, and I thought they played early. They attacked 15-0. Like I said, the lead was 15-0 at one point. They the air got sucked out of them. They lost all momentum, lost all kind of energy throughout the game, especially between the third and fourth quarters. It felt like it was weird. Like a 7-point game, 9-point game felt like we could not overcome it. Like it just felt like one of those old school games where like you couldn't overcome it in this new NBA 15, 20 points. You could feel like you could overcome that pretty quickly. Tonight, it felt like the 9-point game, the 7-point game at points. It was just like, we're just not going to be able to get to a tie game or winning this game. It just felt like it was unbearable lead at times. So, man, it was tough, man. It was tough to watch. There's a lot of things I have to go through and watch again. Like I said, I watch games as a fan at times, and so I missed on some key points and stuff throughout the game that I need to watch a little bit further. But yeah, the offense got stagnant at times. They definitely but Marshall said stop leaving shooters open. It's clear Caruso can shoot, and it's not a fluke. Now McCain's getting confident. Jim's gonna hit shot as well. Yeah, I mean, I think the Spurs defensive identity is kind of something we've always talked about is they collapse too much on drives. So that leaves the kick open for them. I think you have to have more confidence in your backline defenders and you have to stay home on your shooters a little bit more versus always collapsing so tightly in the paint and then trying to filter off and cover those 3-point shooters. I think that gets them in trouble a lot. And so when someone gets penetration into the paint, obviously they're going to be cognizant of where Wimby is, and it's probably going to deter them from even taking a shot in the paint. Cornette, they'll attack at the rim, they'll go at him, so they're not really worried about that. But when they get in the paint and there's a paint deterrence, they're going to look to kick to the corner, kick to the kick to the wing at times, and then the wing could up fake and drive and do the same thing, or they could up fake and shoot, or they could just pass the ball to the corner as the defense is rotating. It gets us in trouble covering the 3-point line at times, and that's the Thunder's game is drive and kick, right? They're going to hit shots, and they're going to live and die with these shooters hitting shots. I don't think Jalen Williams is going to hit 4 or 5 or 5 or 6 from the 3-point line. I would bet he doesn't do that. But you can't leave guys like Caruso open. He's proven himself to hit shots throughout the season. McCain did struggle from 3-point line, but he did put the ball on the floor. He did hit mid-range shots. He did come through offensively. Do I think he'll have another 24-point game? No, but you have to do a better job of playing defense there. I think that's replayable. Obviously, Keeson Wallace giving you 11 points is possible. He's only 2-6 from the 3-point line. He's another guy that's left open and he's going to hit shots, but Spurs have to do a better job of making Lou Dort shoot. That's a guy you probably can help off of and let him shoot the most. That's a guy I would have Lou Dort beat us, but yeah, that's the thing. The Sunders hit 17 of 38 from the 3, 45%. Do I think they'll hit that margin again? No, but you can't leave shooters wide open. You can't. It's a common theme right now. The Spurs are just over hoping on drives right now, and they're allowing these driving kicks to kill them. Obviously, we talked about sending 2 at Shea. There was one time in possession where Dylan Harper bodied up SGA, and then Castle came late and forced a turnover because Shea wasn't counting on that help. I think that's something you can duplicate is send help late at Shea or early quickly. But we talked about they defeat that double team pretty quickly, and then it turns into a rotation game on the perimeter, and the Spurs are either not going to rotate and find the shooters quick enough, or they're just going to be out of place and they're going to leave open threes for OKC. And if they're going to hit, it's going to be it's a long series for either team. Champagny 2 of 8 from threes, and he's just struggling right now. I think I saw a tab that he was hitting 27% or 26% from the 3-point line versus something where he was cooking earlier in the 60s. He was shooting like 60% from 3, which is not attainable, but he can definitely do better than what he's doing shooting wise. We talked about getting Wemby better position in the paint, even though he had 26 points. He can get better position in the paint. De'Aaron Fox, after that hot start, kind of cooled off a little bit, did get injured again. We'll see if there'll be lasting effects going forward. Had 4 turnovers. That is something you question about him turning the ball over versus this Oklahoma City defense. He over penetrates. He sometimes gets lackadaisical with the ball, loses it. So that's a thing that you do not want to turn over. Him, Castle, all these ball hunters cannot turn the ball over. Versus OKC, if they want to win the series, he had 4 turnovers. He did get lost on rotating to shooters at times, like we talked about that could happen to him. But Devin Vassell is cooking a little bit, so that's good. He's getting his confidence back. He's getting his shot back. He stepped up for his teammate and pushed AJ Mitchell. What I like to see from him, he's been giving SGA, as much as he can handle defensively, doing as much as he can. It's good to see offensively he's getting going. Let's see if that can hit 4 steals tonight. Let's see if that's a common theme. I think Devin Vassell hitting threes, being confident offensively, giving you points is definitely going to be something that can be replicated and give the Spurs a boost. Castle had a rough night, very physical night on him. He got to the line 14 times. Just 1 of 5 from the 3-point line. I think he got a little 3-point heavy, even though he's been proven to knock it down. You got like him get to the line and keep going, tackling the basket, force the issue. Maybe get Hardenstein, Chet, Jalen Williams out of the game quicker. That's something he could do. 1 of 8 from the field goal attempts. He won't perform this bad again, but he needs to 7 assists, only 1 turnover, which is good for him. He's had 9 turnovers and I think 11, so 20 turnovers, 19 turnovers the last 2 games. So having only 1 is a good sign, better for him. But he got beat up. He got beat to hell, and a lot of hard fouls on him, a lot of physicality with him. So he's gonna play better. So I'm not really worried about him. But yeah, he's gonna have to play better for us to win the series because other players aren't stepping up as much. Our bench has to get going, man. Keldon Johnson, 6th man of the year. He has to. If we're gonna have all this media on him, if he's gonna talk about, he's gonna be in the scene every time, trying to hype up players, trying to give them pep talks and stuff like that, he has to play better. He has to give you more of a punch off the bench, energetically wise, offensively wise, like he's done all season long. I mean, that was kind of a huge X factor for the Spurs all season long. So he has to step up. He has to answer the call. Dylan Harper coming off the injury. I don't know how much that's affecting him. We'll see as the series goes on. If he doesn't perform very well, they kind of write it off as maybe the injury affected him a little bit more than it beforehand. But yeah, he was someone that was getting going during the playoffs, so he's going to be relied on heavily as a ball handler, as a scorer, and to give the bench a boost. But yeah, if OKC's bench is producing like this, which like I said, I don't count on Jalen Williams being that efficient from 3-point line, but I think other things, and McCain scoring as much as 24 points. But if OKC's getting their Thunder performance without J Dub, they're picking up the slack for J Dub being out. That's a recipe for the Spurs to lose this series. So they're going to have to step up. And let's see if there's any more stats to really go over. That's really the thing I can really think of is the bench scoring was huge tonight. 15 turnovers for the Spurs. You probably want to get that down to 10 or under. Points in the paint about even, which the Spurs usually dominate in. Yeah, I mean that's it for the Spurs versus OKC game watch. Sorry, it came on late, but the I don't know if it was a storm going on right now that's got my computer on the fritz, or the fact that I was throwing it may have spilled some liquid on my computer, got it going a little glitchy. Obviously, shout out to my guy Marshall, who is at work right now, but he gave us our thoughts on how he saw the game tonight. Unfortunately, if he would have won, he would have shot another victory video and sent it to us, so we would have enjoyed it. And this would have been a much happier stream, but it isn't, man. It isn't. The Spurs still have all the chance in the world to win this series, but now the pressure's on to tie it up and to make this a best of 3 series. So the Spurs are going to have to make some adjustments. Players are going to have to step up. And they're going to have to play like they did in that first quarter where it was 15-0 and they were really rolling. The energy was high. The crowd was in it. They're going to have to that's going to have to be sustained throughout the game, and they're going to have to lock in. So, and the Spurs can do it, man. The Spurs can do it. But yeah, this is definitely a tough blow for the Spurs. They are down 2-1 now. With game 3 coming up in San Antonio. Shout out to everybody for joining us. Thank you for everybody coming through. This has been Spurs versus Everybody post-game show, game 3 reaction. I know it says game 2, but I didn't have a chance to edit that part. Where's my necklace over here? Jesus. Sorry, I have to adjust my necklace. It's annoying at times. I don't know why it gets caught up like that. I'll fix that after the stream. But yeah, this is Spurs versus Everybody post-game show. Shout out to my guy Marshall. I'm Greg. Obviously, go make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this episode. Drop us some comments. Helps the algorithm. Support us across all social media. But yeah, man, this has been a post-game show. I'll catch y'all later. Hopefully, it'll be more happier next time, and I wouldn't, my computer won't be broken. That'd be great. But appreciate everybody coming through, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.